Hello, ladies and gentlemen, dear viewers of Burundi National Television. Welcome to the English News Edition headlines. Elections are important events that require the involvement of several institutions and partners, including the Senate. These were the words of Francois Bizimana, Commissioner of Electoral Education and Communication, the Independent Election Commission, CENI, in French acronym. And let's move it to Ngozi now. In the same way that a football player exchange tokens of affection and sportsmanship at the end of the match, it would be conceivable for political activists to do likewise at the end of elections. Words of the Burundian Ombudsman Aimé Laurentine Kanyana following a friendly march involving young individuals from various political parties in the province of Butanyerera. Welcome, dear viewers of Burundi National Television, to details. Now, the Council of Ministers met under auspices of Head of State Evariste Ndayishimiye this Wednesday at the Presidential Palace, Gitega. 3 agenda items were discussed, among others, the draft law revising the Personal and Family Code, the sector policy of the Ministry of Justice and its implementation strategy, and the draft decree establishing a technical committee to monitor the national development cooperation strategy. So now, the First Lady Angeline Ndayishimiye, through the Umugiraneza Foundation on Wednesday, donated food, clothing, and other essentials to more than 15,000 refugees from neighboring Congo gathered in the Musenyi camp in Gihala Community, Rutana province. The First Lady said that they donated it to manifest a spirit of love and to wish the refugees a happy Easter. She also called on those who have resources to know that what they have was given to them by God and to help the needy. We will turn to this news in our next news. Elections now are important events that require the involvement of several institutions and partners, including the Senate. These are the words of Francois Bizimana, Commissioner for Electoral Education and the Communication at the Independent National Election Commission, CENI in French acronym, after hearing with the Senate office this Wednesday. Bizimana carried a message from the CENI which hopes that the Senate can contribute to welcoming foreign senators who will come to monitor the upcoming election. So, as I told you in headlines, let's move to Ngozi. In the same way that football players exchange tokens of affection and sportsmanship at the conclusion of a match, it would be desirable for political activists to do likewise at the end of election, all while maintaining harmony within their political diversity. This reflection was expressed by the Burundian Ombudsman Aimé Laurentine Kanyana following a friendly march involving young individuals from various political parties in the province of Butanyerera. Evariste Nyonkuru was there.
This was a kickoff by the Burundian Ombudsman Aimé Laurentine Kanyana for a friendly football match between the Imbonerakure youth affiliated with the CND FDD party and those from CNL, UPRONA and FRODEBU parties on the afternoon of 22nd April 2025 at the grounds of the Grand Seminary of Burasira in the Hororo commune of the Ngozi province. Aimé Laurentine Kanyana emphasized that such match illustrates how competition should be conducted. Indeed, at the end of this game, players from the winning team and those from the losing one exchanged tokens of affection, demonstrating the true spirit of fair play. The Burundian Ombudsman also praised the way the youth coming from various political parties managed to play while maintaining harmony amid their political diversity, thus refuting false information spread by the individuals not presenting on the field, as pointed out. She likened this match to the upcoming elections of 2025, where some will emerge victorious while others will not. However, she stressed the need of political militants to take inspiration from the exemplary behavior of these football players advocating for fair play and unity while continuing to work towards development. The Burundian Ombudsman urged those who will be elected to respond to the needs of the citizens. Aimé Laurentine Kanyana also invited the youth to prepare to vote and to run for office with serenity and in a spirit of love during the upcoming elections. Nevertheless, she advised the Burundians not to abandon development activities so as not to jeopardize the progress already made, which she described as a honor for the country. At the end of this match, the final score was 6 goals to 1 in favor of the youth affiliated with the CND-FDD party.
Party leaders are called upon to work in synergy to advocate to the government for the financing of their political parties in order to effectively contribute to the promotion of democracy. This is the call made by an expert, Diomede Ninherete, during the presentation of the findings of a study on the financing of political parties in Burundi, a study commissioned by ORICOM in French acronym, an organization dedicated to fighting corruption and the mismanagement of public resources. Jiva Deshimie has more.
This is a study conducted as part of the project entitled Promoting Good Democratic and Electoral Governance in Burundi. According to the expert Diomede Ninherete, who led the study, several officially recognized political parties in Burundi face financial challenges that hinder their full participation in political activities, including electoral processes regarding the financing of political parties as provided by the Article 84 of the law governing political parties. This provision stated that the law may authorize the financing of political parties. However, some politicians present noted that the law clearly indicates that the state is not obliged to fund these activities. To them, this is a possibility, not a duty, meaning the state may or may not provide funding. They thus suggest amending this law to allow political parties to receive funding from the government. The representative from the Ministry of Home Affairs reminded that Article 4 of the same law prohibits foreign funding of political parties except for participation in international conferences or training abroad. The expert recommends that party leaders unite to jointly advocate to the government for this funding to become a reality. He added that political parties must develop strategies by forming coalitions and plead the government to release a certain amount of funding for electoral campaign, at least for the 2027 period. Among the recommendations made, involving religious groups in such activities, given their role in promoting good governance and democracy, and establishing a school of democracy in Burundi, etc.
Here in Bujumbura, workshop on a competition within the common market for Eastern and Southern Africa, COMESA in French acronym, has been held here since Wednesday in Bujumbura. The training is primarily aimed at members of the National Competition Commission in Burundi with the aim of equipping them with the skills to properly implement the competition law. Take a listen of Onizime Nyukuri, spokesperson of the Ministry of Trade.
Competition Commission authorities in COMESA, they are competent authorities to deal with practices related to competition among operators on the market. When we, especially what we may understand first is that competition is not forbidden, it's actually allowed. And the issue is when the companies or the business operators now start installing some restrictive measures on the market or restrictive practices on the market, whether being acquisition or measures. In that case, you may find that some companies will find difficulties to operate on the market. So COMESA member state established in their treaty some provisions related to competition matters and consumer protection rights provisions. And then for member state, they have to harmonize with their national regulations and also implement or enforce that regulation. Burundi established the competition regime in 2010, but the law provided that for its implementation there must be establishment of the National Competition Authority. It took some time because it was established in 2023, and in 2024 the members of the commission has been nominated by decree of the president. Now for the members to start, or the commissioners now to start operate, they need to understand the provisions and how it has to be enforced. That's why this capacity building was conducted for the members of the commission. We have conducted this capacity building for the members of the commission to have a common understanding and also understand the content of these regulations from the regional level to the national level, and how it can be conducted and enforced for both national and regional level.
To end this news, the high school of the Pentecostal Church community in Burundi, located in the Jabe neighborhood of Mukaza Commune, is threatened by a ravine, caused in particular by the extraction of kaolin and sands. Francine Nyomungele, the school head of studies, urged the relevant authorities to intervene to protect the school before the situation worsens. Joseph Mwinda Jambo has more.
The ravine in constant progression, the fence of the school located in Jabe Quarter in the Mukaza Commune risks to collapse if nothing is done urgently to protect it. Francine Nyomungere, one among the staff of the Pentecostal Churches community in Burundi, Sepebu, indicates that this ravine resulted in the failure of channeling water that did not manage to bring water to Nhangwa River. The situation has been worsened by the clay extractors using for hand feeding, highlighted Francine Nyomungere. Crops have already observed, and the maintenance works for protecting this area must be conducted to avoid further dangerous cases. Francine Nyomungere asks competent authorities to intervene as soon as possible in order to avoid strange damages.
Thank you, dear viewers, for your keen attention. This is the end of our news edition. See you later.